Sharks. No other creature inspires such primal fear in the human imagination. Powerful, swift, and seemingly invincible, these apex predators dominate their underwater domain. While shark attacks on humans are rare, when they happen, they can be devastating. Our journey begins in 1916 along the serene beaches of the New Jersey coastline. The setting was idyllic. Families flocked to the seaside to escape the heat of midsummer. But what started as a season of joy turned into terror with what's now known as the Jersey Shore shark attacks. It began on July 1st, when a young man named Charles Van Sant decided to take a peaceful swim off Beach Haven. Without warning, a shark tore into Van Sant's leg with terrifying ferocity. Lifeguards rushed to pull him from the bloody water, but he succumbed to his injuries shortly after. Days later, another victim, a bellhop named Charles Bruder, was attacked in nearby Spring Lake. His legs were severed, and once again the beach was left reeling in fear. However, the horror didn't stop there. The next two attacks occurred inland, in Matawan Creek, a place no one would have imagined sharks could reach. One boy, 11-year-old Lester Stillwell, was killed while swimming with friends. Moments later, when local men rushed to search for the boy, one of them, Watson Fisher, was savagely attacked as well. The panic spread across the state, with the incidents prompting headlines nationwide. In total, 4 people lost their lives and another was severely injured. To this day, the Jersey Shore attacks are remembered not just for their brutality, but for their shocking location, driving home the terrifying unpredictability of sharks. Next, we move to Australia, home to some of the world's most notorious shark-infested waters. The date was December 8, 1963, and Fox, a 23-year-old spear fisherman, was competing in a tournament in South Australia. Everything was going well until Fox spotted a flicker of movement in the water, a shadow too large to belong to a fish. Before he could react, the shark struck with breathtaking speed, dragging Fox into a swirl of chaos. The great white shark tore into Fox's abdomen, savagely puncturing his lungs and ripping open his rib cage. But Fox wouldn't give up. Displaying almost superhuman determination, he fought back, punching the shark repeatedly in its face until it eventually released him. Bleeding profusely and on the brink of death, Fox was pulled to safety by nearby rescue boats. Miraculously, he survived after hours of emergency surgery, though the scars on his body and his psyche would serve as lifelong reminders of his battle. Fox went on to become an advocate for shark preservation and research, turning personal tragedy into a cause for better understanding these incredible creatures. For our third story, we turn to the USS Indianapolis, a harrowing tale from World War II. July 1945, the American warship was torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. Of nearly 1,200 crew, around 300 went down with the ship. The nightmare wasn't over for the 900 survivors adrift in the open ocean. For days they floated, exposed to merciless heat, dehydration, and starvation. And then came the sharks. Initially drawn by the commotion, sharks soon began targeting the stranded sailors. Survivors described predators circling with eerie patience before striking, pulling men below in swift, violent attacks. Estimates suggest hundreds of fatalities were due to shark predation. Only 316 sailors survived, making this one of the deadliest shark-related incidents in recorded history. A grim reminder of the dangers of being stranded in their territory. The fourth tale of horror takes us to Egypt, where one of the most unusual sequences of shark attacks unfolded in Sharm el-Sheikh in 2010. A popular resort town on the Red Sea, Sharm el-Sheikh was synonymous with tropical paradise, but in just 5 days that reputation was shattered. Between November 30 and December 5th, a series of unprecedented attacks left 5 people injured and 1 killed. The victim, a German tourist in her 70s, lost her life in an attack horrifying in its brutality. Marine experts were baffled. Shark attacks were rare in this region, and the sheer number of incidents in such a short span was nearly unheard of. Authorities scrambled to understand the cause, with theories ranging from ecological imbalances to the possibility of sharks being lured by illegal fishing. Regardless of the reason, the attacks sent shockwaves through the tourism industry, forcing officials to close beaches and rethink marine safety. Finally, we come to the tragic fate of young Bethany Hamilton. It was Halloween morning in 2003, and the promising 13-year-old surfer was paddling out in the crystal-clear waters of Hawaii. A champion in the making, Bethany was already a star in the surfing world, her skills on the waves earning her respect beyond her years. But nature would have other plans. Without warning, a tiger shark nearly 15 feet long surged from the depths and clamped onto Bethany's left arm. The attack lasted mere seconds, leaving her stunned as she floated to safety with her friend's help. The injury was catastrophic. Her arm was severed just below the shoulder. Yet, despite the incredible odds, Bethany survived. Her resilience became the stuff of legends. Less than a month later, she was back on her board and pursuing her dreams. Today, Bethany Hamilton remains an icon, not just for surfers, but for anyone seeking inspiration on overcoming adversity. Her story offers hope after even the darkest moments. So, what can we learn from these heart-stopping encounters? Sharks are powerful and deadly when provoked or threatened, but they're not villains. In many cases, shark attacks are nothing more than tragic accidents, misidentifications by crests of water, or confusion during hunts. Humans are far from sharks' natural prey. And these creatures, essential to the ocean's ecosystems, face far greater dangers from us than we do from them. These stories remind us of the delicate balance between fear and fascination, of what it means to enter the wild with respect and humility. Nature, raw and untamed, is a force to be reckoned with. Sharks may inspire fear, but they also inspire awe, and that, to the daring swimmers and surfers among us, might be the most important lesson of all.